Hey guys, this video is going to be about Paul Reubens and what I think of him as a person, besides being a celebrity and being known for his iconic character, Pee Wee Herman. Those of you that were born in the 60s, raised in the 70s and 80s, know Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman, the most beloved character ever. I, however, know him as the funny, quirky sidekick to Lothos in the 1993 comedy Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was an incredible actor, funny comedian, and great voice actor. I do not think, my personal opinion, that he would hurt or harm anyone, minor or otherwise. He did not have it in him to do that. And because he passed away now, everybody's digging up old articles, old punchlines from closing, and then in a theater in 1991. He was doing what every grown person around the world does when they're not around their family, they're not around friends, they're in their own space doing that. As for him having adult-oriented material, there are people that say, well, he had adult-oriented materials that pertained to minors. Okay. When somebody tipped the police, who then raided his house and went through his collection, those that raided the house, the police, the detectives, the people who were in charge of the investigation, they concluded that Paul Reubens did not have that type of stuff to have charges pinned against him. Unlike the actor who was the principal in the 1986 film, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. There have been many people on YouTube and on TikTok, on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all social media is now digging up these old articles, these old findings, and using it to smear Paul Reubens now that Paul Reubens is not here to defend himself. I myself, as a normal person who is not a celebrity, I do not see Paul being that way towards anybody. Kids, teenagers, grown adults, women. I don't see him being like that towards anybody. He does not have it in him to be like that. And it's clearly disgusting now that we have people doing this because they want to smear his name, because he is no longer here to defend himself. This is truly disgusting. I mean, he was dragged to high hell because he got caught in the adult theater, because the cops that were raiding the place back then had prejudice towards the LGBTQ plus community back then. And he just so happened to get caught in the middle of it because he was doing what every grown person does. It wasn't like it is now, where people can go on the internet and go and see this type of material for themselves. Back then, we didn't have internet. You had to go and rent tapes from a video store or go to an adult-oriented theater to see that stuff. It's not like it is now, where you can go in on the internet and search for a particular video that you like. He was a grown man, He was in his 40s, and he was away from work. He was by himself. He had nobody else around him. There were no minors present. Nobody else was there. It was just him and a couple others. Sadly, he got caught in the middle of that and then got arrested for indecent exposure. The charges were then dropped. Of course, he had, like I said, the raid done on his house, to which the authorities and those that were involved in that raid, they said that he did not have any of that in his collection to be prosecuted for having that material. And it hurt him so bad that he had to come out and make a public statement and say, I am a grown man. I'm not attracted to children in any way, shape, or form, or teenagers. You know, I'm not like that. But now we have people who absolutely hate him spreading this stuff around on the internet to try and drag him. I want to say to his Paul Reubens fans, please do not let this shit get a hold of you emotionally, mentally. None of that, because that hurts. Okay. You are now going to be dealing with people who full-heartedly believe that Reubens was a predator. I don't, I wholeheartedly, I don't see him being that way towards anybody. He wouldn't hurt anyone. Okay. You are now going to see him being dragged to high hell now that he's no longer here. And I want to say, as a fellow Michael Jackson fan, we have been dealing with this for years, since before Michael passed. But now it's no longer Michael Jackson. It is now Paul Reubens' name being dragged to high hell. And the fans have to gear up, because this isn't going to stop. People are going to run with this one way or the other. You guys just have to keep your heads up high and remember Paul for what he gave us, which was his talent, his time, his energy. He was the type of person to send birthday cards, send video messages, um, Christmas cards. He made people feel like they mattered. And for those of you that got to be a part of that, please cherish it. Please hold on to that, because he's not here anymore. And it breaks my heart. I wish to God he had gotten more. But I understand why he kind of had to step back a little bit to take care of his health, because he wasn't doing so physically, even though he didn't want people to feel sorry for him. And he didn't want people in the media to run with it and make false stories about him being sick. Again, I think he was a wonderful actor, a great comedian, and he loved everyone. He made you feel special. For those of you that be a part of that, hold on to it and cherish it. You get to pass it on to your grandkids, your great grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, your friends, to show him just how wonderful he was, not only as a actor and a comedian, but as a person as well. There's not very many people like that in this world. Paul was one of those people. Um, Again, I understand people aren't going to have the same viewpoints, but this is mine, and I'm going to stick to it. This man deserves to be at peace. His friends and family and fans deserve to be at peace, and remember him for the true, beautiful human being that he was. Not for sensationalism, false rumors, and innuendo, and all that crap. He deserves to be remembered as the beautiful human being he was and is. Thank you, Paul, for making all our lives a lot easier and a lot more bearable during those dark times. Say hi to my mom and my dad for me, okay? And my mother-in-law. Love you, Paul. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.